Indianapolis Colts and the Buffalo Bills. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Let's go now. 8, read.
Pick me up. Here we go. Check this.
Keep Rivers.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a give, right side. Hines. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They run the counter. It's Hines, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. This is taken around the 12. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 27-yard line.
Here we go. Time to end it. All day, just like that. Just like that. Begin. Go. Motion. Reset.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually transfers. Translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
At the 12-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Makes it 3rd and 7.
I know you feel that. Yeah. Go to base. Mike, 44. Hey, I'm coming. Hey.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll start out with Mack. He'll get about 4 as he's passed. The 35 to the 38-yard line. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. On 3rd down, Stanley nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Uchenna and Nwosu got the sack there. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. And he's going to go down again. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Stanley. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
You draw Porter. Hey, foxtrot. Get it.
Off the play fake. Stanley. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
50, plant.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 46-yard line.
On the set.
Come on. You got it, great. Let's go.
To throw on 2nd down, Stanley. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Uchenna Nwosu able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Uchenna Nwosu. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. They'll try the left side. Swift. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Escape. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
2nd and 9 now. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Christian Kirk, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Colts have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. A good gain there on first down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
If it's not one guy, it's another with this defense. I mean, this is the #1 unit against the rush in the entire NFL. They know how to cover for each other. And, yeah, they've got great players. They also have very dependable players, too.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's McKinney. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
They'll try and run for it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 2nd down, Swift. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Check. And one. Spoke to Mike. Mike spoke. Let's go. 44's to Mike. 44's to Mike.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Mike spoke. We got to get the ball. See you get the push it. Go. 44's to Mike. I got him.
2nd and 6. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
44's to Mike. 44's Mike.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Come on.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Lutz is good. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He'll look to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. It's caught at the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Mike Evans, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bills have retaken the lead. So the call's made by Sean McVay. They're going to go for 2. They'll drop the throw. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Well, they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Check. Ready? 2 times. Hey, 4 down.
On 2nd down now. Swift, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Check 15. Check.
He'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Whip. Watch the whip. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Now.
Back to throw. Stanley. Wide open receiver, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down. On 1st down, Mack. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Staying on the ground with Mack. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Looking to throw. Stanley. And he connects with Ebron. An excellent gain, 35 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Mack. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Ready.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stanley. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. From 13 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score. Gonzalez now to add the extra point.
After allowing that last score, the defense knows they've got to tighten things up. Otherwise, they'll let them right back into the game.
And he knocks it through. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 40, the 20, 10, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. From one end zone to the other, 101 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking out some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
No gain on the dump off. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing right, and that's complete. Back now in Buffalo. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Stanley. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Marlon Mack. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Stanley into a double team, and it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
On 1st down, Swift. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 28-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Lutz will look to add the extra point. He's got it, and the lead stretches to 35-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk it. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Darren Lee in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Stanley. That's going to be caught by Kirk. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Hey, lock it.
Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
On 4th down, Stanley. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 41. And he's going to score. It's a pick-6 and a Bills touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick-6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give him...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off at his own 46. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. That'll be a pickup of 29 yards there. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Check, check. Watch the run.
2nd and 5. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Traquan Smith, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Stanley. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down.
I'll Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
45.
On 1st and 10, Stanley, short little throw to Ebron. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hey, go. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down. Check. 45.
Hey, high 7.
On 4th down, Stanley. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. And a loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 37. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your... Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. That's complete right around the 8. And he gets into the end zone. We'll give him credit. They're not going to take this deficit lying down. They get 2 closer here on the fake extra point. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Let's go. Hey, ready? Mike Spoke. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
They'll try the left side. Swift. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Check. Crunch.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to loft one deep left, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got Smith here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. On 3rd down, Swift. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that